Welcome in, everyone, wherever you're watching. Thank you for joining us. I'm your host, Kerry Chow. Today, we're going to give you the easy button, boop, for agentic AI transformation. Here's what's on tap. We're going to show you how to create exceptional experiences with agentic AI right now, today, using the Salesforce platform. Learn how Salesforce uses its own tech to reduce lead qualification time by 40%. Then we're going to dive into 3 success factors for faster, trusted AI with demos that bring them all to life and hear how Indeed, the world's #1 job site, went agentic fast with its Salesforce foundation. Let's do this, and I want to welcome 2 Salesforce all-stars, Desiree Modametti, CMO Next Gen Platform, and Josie Childs, SVP of Product Marketing Platform. Thanks, y'all, for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you. We're excited.
I love it. Des, we're going to start with you. So many companies want to adopt agentic AI. What is driving that urgency?
AI has really changed the entire ecosystem. And it really is, agentic AI has created a digital labor revolution. By pairing humans with intelligent agents, Agentforce gives us a sidekick to make us even more productive in our everyday work. I think even about myself as a marketing leader, I use AI with writing content, reviewing campaigns, creating project briefs. It allows me to be more creative with new ideas, and I'm way more productive.
Way more productive, efficient. I love that. Des, in a second, we're actually going to see how you show us what that transformed experience looks like with AI. But first, Josie, I want to ask you, what makes agentic AI so incredibly timely and impactful for businesses right now?
Yeah, so Kerry, the opportunities with agentic AI are limitless. And this is coming at a time when a lot of companies are struggling. They're facing fixed capacity, stalled productivity, employee burnout from repetitive manual tasks. Meanwhile, customers' expectations at an all-time high. We want personal, empathetic, 24/7 service. But we're all busy. I know I feel it. Des, I'm sure you feel it. Kerry, I'm sure you feel it. And the same goes for our employees. So what are we going to do about it? Well, many companies went off and they built these one-off AI solutions. But they're quickly discovering that a standalone agent just isn't enough. It's just another bottleneck to manage. Having a standalone agent, no matter how sophisticated, is like having a brilliant employee and then making them work off in a corner all by themselves. For agents to be successful, they need to learn, train, and work with your business data on an ongoing basis. And they need to work within your existing apps and workflows where your employees can work with them. Because at the end of the day, humans are at the heart of our companies. And we want to ensure that humans are the ones that are benefiting from this revolution. So when you think about how humans and agents can work together, you need to think about more than just a single agent. There's going to be a second and a third and a 100th agent. Agentic AI is a whole new digital workforce, which means you need a scalable way to build and manage them. And with tools such as retrieval augmented generation for data access, advanced reasoning for your agents to think like a human, those tools are really going to help you move faster. So companies don't need to think about a single AI agent. They need an agent platform. And Kerry, that's what you get with Salesforce. We've evolved the Salesforce platform to meet this moment. It's your easy button for AI.
Easy button for AI, which is awesome because when you think of AI, you're not thinking it's easy. You're thinking that's difficult. So it's incredible how we're doing this. Josie, tell me more about this easy button.
Yeah, absolutely. So with the Salesforce platform, you get all the apps, agents, and data you need to succeed. And this is all built on an open, trusted foundation. So you get autonomous agents that can take action 24/7. They work seamlessly with your people right inside the apps they already use. And that's really key. And then Agentforce provides instant access to all of your enterprise data via Data Cloud. And it's underpinned by metadata, giving the AI the context that it needs. And this is why the Salesforce platform is proven to help you get to value 16 times faster.
Is that a real number? 16
real
times.
Number. Yeah.
It's incredible impact right there. So Josie, who can use this awesome easy button?
Yeah, so this is the beauty of Salesforce. Thousands of customers across every industry and size are using Agentforce today. So let's take a look at AAA Washington. They're using Agentforce to schedule customer appointments, and that frees up human employees to focus on those urgent, high-stakes travel situations that really demand that reassurance and human care. But also, we've just hit a big milestone with Agentforce here at Salesforce. We deployed Agentforce on help.salesforce.com, and it's now handled over 1 million conversations. And this is really exciting, but crucially, the most important thing is that it's resolving customer conversations 85%, which is with really high customer satisfaction rate. So this is a really big milestone for us. And it's not just service, sales and marketing, Des, we're benefiting too. This year alone, Agentforce has powered over 30,000 new leads. And these Agentforce-driven leads are converting to opportunities at a much faster rate, with qualification time down 40% year over year. So this is going to result in a double-digit increase in our pipe generation because our sellers are able to spend more time on higher quality prospecting.
Can we get Lil Wayne as a spokesperson? Because a milli, what? Josie, thank you so much. Let's learn more about this actual AI use case here. So Des, you've got a great demo for us. We want to first, though, give a shout out to David Spezia, Distinguished Technical Architect of Data and AI. David's driving all of our demos today, so thank you so much, David. Des, what does a transformed employee and customer experience with AI actually look like?
Good question. You know, as customer zero, we're always using the easy button of the Salesforce platform to transform hundreds of experiences. We started by looking across our business where we have the most manual and repetitive tasks. As a marketing leader, I have goals for marketing qualified leads, MQLs, and we're bringing in those thousands of leads a day from across our events, our digital marketing, and it's a lot to process. And honestly, before Agentforce, this was a huge operational headache. Think about the old process. A potential customer would submit a form and on our website, and that lead would then fall into a giant queue. This was a race against the clock that we often lost. It could take hours, sometimes even a full day, just to assign a lead to a sales rep. By then, the prospect's initial excitement had cooled off, or worse, they've already moved on to a competitor site. It got us thinking, is there an opportunity to better personalize and more quickly answer customer queries and qualify these as leads with Agentforce? And that's exactly what we did. So let's start. We're going to take a look right now. We're going to start with Sam, who's a marketing director at Omega, and he's visiting Salesforce.com. He engages directly with Agentforce and asks, how can I get started? And in the background, Agentforce is pulling information from a knowledge base article. It comes back with a number of suggestions, such as a user guide. And Sam decides to ask a more specific, maybe a little bit more complicated question, and one that's very common. How can he use his marketing data from a third-party system like Snowflake in Agentforce? And Agentforce in the background is using our Atlas reasoning engine to understand the intent of Sam's question. It's planning, it's reasoning, and it's acting, seamlessly answering that question too, extracting the right information from our knowledge repository. And because Salesforce is an open platform, it explains that you can use zero-copy integrations to virtualize that data into Data Cloud, saving Sam the cost and time of moving it from Snowflake. Overall, this has been an easy experience for Sam, saving him so much time from searching through our, the website manually. But these interactions also show good engagement. And internally, our system has scored Sam as a hot prospect. So what happens next? Well, now Agentforce is going to automatically kick this off as an action to Sam's account executive, Steph. She's notified in Slack, which is her day-to-day workspace. This is where we do all of our work every single day. And right there, using Agentforce in Slack, Steph has proactively shown how Sam has been engaging on the website. Agentforce also recommends next best actions, such as assets they can follow up with so Steph can act quickly. So Steph asked Agentforce to schedule a meeting on her behalf. Because Agentforce has given access to Steph's calendar, it's able to liaise with Sam to find the next time, which is next Thursday. Now that the meeting is booked, Agentforce recommends how Steph can start prepping for the meeting by taking a look at past transcripts. Now, directly from Slack, Steph is taken to the transcripts. I mean, think about that for a second. All of a sudden, you have access to these transcripts from before, and she can now see that they've not had a meeting with Sam in a while. But she opens that first transcript, and there's so much gold in here, so much information to digest. And if she actually would read through all of this, it probably would take her about 30 minutes to read through it. But because this is all embedded in the flow of work, and because Agentforce has access, Steph simply asks, what are the top objections? And it summarizes that information. This immediately gives Steph the hot spots of what to research. Less time doing admin, more time focused on selling. The transform experience doesn't stop here, though. So Steph sees her sales leader, Ryan, and mentions that she's prepping for her sales meeting with Omega, having the top objections ready to help close the meeting. But this makes Ryan think this could be a more systematic problem across all of his sales teams. Because Salesforce is a unified platform, and Agentforce and the data from Data Cloud are integrated all into Tableau next. So Ryan wants to see if he can get this insight and goes into Tableau to look at his daily review of all the KPIs. And Ryan sees a summary of the key metrics and sees that the objections on Omega are common across other accounts too. So he clicks into that objection of time to value and sees that we're only handling that question in about 25% of the cases. He's always looking for ways to help. So right here, an action is available for Ryan to raise a new article with his enablement team to help combat this objection. But in the meantime, he wants to know what this answer is. He wants to have an immediate response to talk to his own sales team. So Ryan simply asks Agentforce, what has been working well to objection handle time to value? And this is the power of Agentforce. It analyzes learnings from across the company and comes back with recommendations that best reframe the using of financial flexibility. This has saved Ryan hours of work to ask dozens of sellers for that insight. Imagine how you would do it, go talk to people at their desk and find all that information. Well, think about how this would work before. Ryan would need a sales analyst. It could take days to get this information, but now we could do this in seconds. So what have you just seen? We've just shown you how we're making those first crucial customer interactions much more engaging thanks to Agentforce. And these Agentforce-driven leads are converting to opportunities at a fast rate. You heard even Josie say this too, with the qualification time down 40% year over year, all made possible because of the Salesforce platform.
Incredible, and I love how it's the unified platform, right? Like we're really anti-swivel chair when it comes to it, right? Like swivel chair is cool on the desk, not cool when it comes to platform. It's an amazing experience for both customers and employees, but Des, what is truly the secret sauce here?
Sure, so we're seeing 3 common success factors for how customers are creating faster, trusted experiences with AI. First, they're leveraging unified data. AI is way more effective when it's grounded in the right data at the right time. Second, we're making integrated, securely integrated experiences where customers and employees need it, like Slack, and ensuring that they're protected and secure across the entire journey. And then third, AI that enables autonomous action, such as the easy recommendations surfaced up by Steph with making that appointment, or Ryan kicking off that workflow with getting that recommendation for some of those objections. So it's an easy button.
I love it. It's simply put, it is the easy button for AI. Thank you, Des and Josie. We're going to have more from you coming right up. But let's demo those success factors right now. Number 1, connecting AI to the right unified data. Here's Kat Sue, Director of Product Marketing.
Thanks, Carrie. Disconnected data is one of the biggest challenges we hear today. We know that many of you have taken considerable effort to move data into data lakes or warehouses, but unifying your data is just part of the challenge. Let's be real, your employees aren't logging into your data lakes or warehouses every day to actually access that data. So how do you make sure that the right data is available to and actually usable to your employees? Well, let me show you how. So let's go back to Sam, the marketing director at Omega. This is his profile in our own Sales Cloud instance. Here you can see there's a lot of information that isn't in a standard Sales Cloud view. And that's because we've brought in Salesforce-specific business data, things like Sam's trailhead information, his product interest scores, and even Omega's open service cases. We have that data stored in different systems, but what we've done here is create a unified profile, which acts as a single source of truth about Sam. That means that all that useful data we want is now consolidated into one view. But not only that, the data is right here for our sales teams to use in Sales Cloud. So let's take a look at the activity timeline. You can see here all these rich details like Sam engaging with Agentforce, watching a demo, and even interacting with a Google ad. This gives our sellers a visual narrative so that they don't have to piece together isolated data points from different dashboards and different apps themselves in order to understand Sam's behavior. And because this is all unified in Salesforce, Agentforce was able to quickly score and qualify Sam as a hot prospect and deliver that information to the sales teams right where they're already working. So how did we bring the data together? Well, this is where we use Data Cloud, which is natively built on the Salesforce platform. Data Cloud unifies all your disconnected data. You can see here we're pulling from over 600 sources of data, from Amazon S3 to Snowflake to our own Salesforce instance. And you can see the scale of these data streams is huge. It's truly any data, from unstructured fields to structured data as well. And as you heard Des mention earlier, because we offer zero-copy integrations into data platforms like Snowflake, you don't have to move or duplicate the data. This means faster time to value and no complex migrations, and that's the benefit of Salesforce as an open platform. So now, for agents to truly understand your business, they need more than just the raw data. they need to understand the data about your data, the context, the rules, the relationships. And this is where your metadata on Salesforce is a game changer. Think of metadata like the recipe that tells AI exactly how to use all your raw data ingredients. So once you've connected all your data onto the platform, you use our drag and drop UI to map your data and to define the data's meaning. Or, if you want, AI can even recommend mapping for you. This establishes a consistent, singular view of your data across all the experiences you build on Salesforce. And now that I have this unified data and metadata on Salesforce, I can create that single source of truth for SAM. So remember the product interest score that you saw earlier? This is actually being calculated and pulled in from Snowflake. But what makes that even more valuable is that now this score can be easily serviced not only for our sellers in Sales Cloud, but also for our marketers and our service reps. Normally, to recreate and pull this data into another app, you need someone else to come and help you, which eats up precious time and resources. But not with Salesforce. So here you can see what this looks like in Service Cloud. The product interest score component has been added here using simple clicks, so now our service reps can see this data right here instead of having to search for it in another app. And the same thing goes for your marketers in Marketing Cloud. Now they can see this data right where they're working and action this data for things like segmentation for marketing campaigns. Because Salesforce is a deeply unified platform, your unified data can show up across any application and can be surfaced through any agent that's built on our platform, ensuring that your teams can deliver a seamless, personalized customer experience. Carrie, back to you.
Thank you, Kat. That was incredible. We'll see you for another demo coming up. Josie, Des, what did we just see here? Des, you first.
What you just witnessed is the power of transforming experiences with unified data. And because Salesforce is an open platform, it means you can connect any data from across your entire business. That's game changer for most enterprises.
And that was the value of metadata on Salesforce. So it's providing that rich context, the data about your data that's needed for those personalized experiences, and it's how you can get more value from all of that fragmented data.
Thank you for breaking it down right there. Let's talk more about the next AI success factor, securely integrating AI experiences into the everyday flow of work. Here's Jeff Chen, Senior Manager, Product Marketing.
All right, thank you, Carrie. As Josie mentioned earlier, many companies struggle to scale and integrate standalone AI experiences. Meanwhile, as businesses try to sort this out, employees may be using unapproved AI tools, creating potential compliance and security risk. This is not a great experience all around. Your business is at risk, and your employees have more applications to swivel chair between. Thankfully, trust and embedded AI comes out of the box with the Salesforce platform. So, starting with trust. With Salesforce, your AI experiences are secure thanks to the Agentforce trust layer. Think of this as your built-in AI bodyguard. Through technologies like zero data retention, we're ensuring that large language models are not learning from your customer data. And with optionality for data masking and data encryption, it means that your customer data stays private, including the third-party data that you connect to. This is how you can ensure your AI experiences are trusted while being grounded in your data and context-aware to the user and the flow of work, allowing you to unlock the power of AI with none of the privacy worries. Now that you know your AI experiences can be trusted, how do you then integrate these experiences? Let's go back to our sales leader, Ryan, who is looking at his dashboard in Tableau Next, natively built on the Salesforce platform. Remember, Ryan was curious how he could help his team with objection handling. Instead of manually looking for this insight, let's ask Agentforce. What categories have the most unhandled objections? Because we're built on a unified platform, Ryan has the ability to access Agentforce right there natively in his flow of work. This saves him time from having to go back and forth between separate applications and preventing business data from going outside of that trust layer. Agentforce analyzes the data and responds with natural language and an easy-to-understand visualization that in the same window that time to value is the #1 unhandled objection. This is a timely, dynamic, and trusted experience for Ryan so he can focus on coaching his team. Though Ryan doesn't only just work inside of Tableau Next. In fact, Slack is where he collaborates with his team. To scale an agent experience like this from standalone AI solutions with the same underlying data and security and governance would be a headache, requiring resources and complex coding, but not with the unified Salesforce platform. Ryan can access this exact same experience in Slack. So let's take a look. Here, Ryan can interact, share, and collaborate with the same visualized data set. And with a click of a button, he can follow up with a question directly in Slack without going back into Tableau next. This is the power of having apps, data, and agents on one trusted platform. Now, let's talk about how AI experiences rely not only on the data itself, but the understanding of your data as well. Remember, Ryan asked Agentforce about unhandled objections. Unhandled is not a term in the structured dataset. You see, we as humans have the context and reasoning that unhandled means objection handling was falsely handled. But for AI to be effective, it needs direction from us as humans on how your business defines these terms. Let's take a look. This is the semantics layer, powered by Tableau Semantics, acting as a universal translator by creating definitions and relationships between data model objects. We can edit these preferences to define what the semantics are. So here, we have defined with natural language what the term unhandled means. This type of enrichment gives Agentforce what it needs to power consistent and successful interactions with employees across every touchpoint. Define it once and use it everywhere. And finally, semantics is what powers understanding so that users like Ryan can get value from his data. That final value, taking action. With the deeply unified Salesforce platform, you can transform what actions employees can take in the flow of work, completing that data to insights to actions journey. Earlier, you saw that Ryan was able to raise a new article to his enablement team from the click of a button. That's because a Salesforce admin has set up an out-of-the-box platform action. With ease, you can add dozens of platform actions ranging from opening a new record, creating a new post, or booking appointments. So what you just saw here is how Agentforce is securely integrated 24/7 wherever Ryan's flow of work is, saving him hours from having to do repetitive manual research and other tasks, all while ensuring his company data stays within the confines of the trust layer. It's a win for productivity and a win for security and governance. Now back to you, Carrie.
Thank you, Jeff. That was awesome. Des, Josie, once again, I want y'all to break it down. Des, what do we just see here?
Well, what we just highlight is how Salesforce accelerates secure and integrated AI experiences. The trust layer handles data privacy and compliance so you can build with confidence.
Okay, and what's really powerful is you're integrating AI directly into your existing workflows, such as Slack. So you can ensure that the AI is working with your teams where they already are without disrupting their flow. Carrie, no swivel chairing?
We're super anti-swivel chair.
totally
Yeah, get them
anti-swivel
swivel
chair.
chairs out of your office.
Exactly.
That's all we're saying. Let's bring it home now with the final success factor, enabling AI to take autonomous actions across your business. Let's go back to Kat. Kat, what you got for us?
All right, thanks, Carrie. So AI is here to help humans reach our full potential. But did you know that 41% of our time is wasted on low value and repetitive tasks? Imagine if you were able to delegate that work to an agent so that you could focus on that higher value work. Well, with Agentforce, you can. But to effectively delegate, you also want to ensure that AI completes the task correctly within the guardrails that you set. For example, you don't want an agent replying to a customer in a way that isn't how your brand would talk. So how do you ensure AI can autonomously act in the way that you want? Let me show you how. So here we are in Agent Builder. This is our low-code tool native to the Salesforce platform that allows you to build and customize agents. Here, you're seeing the agent from earlier that we built for help.salesforce.com. And on the left, you can see the various topics that the agent can cover. Think of topics as an agent's job to be done. Things like raise a case or escalate. This is how you define your agent's role and its guardrails. Now, let's look at a few action types. Let's click on New Action. And as you can see, I can choose API as an option and use MuleSoft to directly action in any third-party system. This is so powerful because now you can extend your agent across your entire IT estate, including homegrown and legacy systems. And you can also reuse assets from your own library. Here at Salesforce, we have endless amounts of pre-built flows and Apex code that we can reuse and allow Agentforce to action. This saves us countless hours having to rebuild. And as you saw, you don't need advanced coding skills to build an agent. This is all low-code development using the same Salesforce UI that you're already familiar with. And what's even better is that you can also get started quickly by using our new Agent Exchange. We have hundreds of pre-built agents and templates from across our partners and across the Trailblazer community that empowers you to get started fast. But now, let's go back to the main screen in Agent Builder and ask the same question that Sam asked earlier. What you're seeing here in the middle is the Atlas reasoning engine. You're able to see the engine at work, and you can see the agent's thinking, so you can actually fine-tune the result. And this is how you can start to build that confidence that the agent will act in the way that you want it to. Atlas is what allows your agent to think, plan, and act just like a human. It interprets complex requests, taps into your unified data, and then intelligently orchestrates multi-step autonomous actions. This fine-tuning is a critical piece of achieving precise AI results. But to develop robust AI experiences, you also need to test them thoroughly before you deploy. But let's be honest, rigorous testing is typically manual and time-consuming. Today, the primary way to test an agent is by asking it as many questions as you can. But obviously, this doesn't scale. Now, we have an easy button to help you test your agent quickly and at scale with our new Agentforce Testing Center. So, if I click up here, I can perform multiple tests at once against the agent to show how it will perform before it interacts with a customer. This is a critical part of ensuring your agent performs the way that you want it to. Agentforce Testing Center is an easy-to-use, dedicated environment designed specifically so that you can quickly and easily automate AI agent testing at scale. Here, you're seeing all these tests that were previously run. You can generate synthetic test cases, run them in secure sandbox environments, or use out-of-the-box suggestions to batch test. This is how you ensure your AI agents are accurate, reliable, and ready for prime time. But now, this is just one agent that I've shown you. But as you heard Josie mention at the start of the show, a standalone agent isn't going to be enough. You're going to have hundreds of agents as part of your digital workforce. So how do you manage all of them? Well, now you can do that with our new Agentforce Studio. Here, you can see a full list of the agents we've built and deployed with Agentforce. And now, once you start deploying your agents, you'll have questions about how they're performing or how to make them better. And that's where you have our command center to supervise all your AI agents. For example, what you're looking at here are metrics for our sales agents. These are the agents that help our sales teams qualify leads and close deals. And notice how these metrics are adapted to this specific type of agent. We're seeing how Agentforce is impacting our sales revenue, our deal cycles, and even our team's productivity. But watch now when I select Customer Service Agent. Notice how all of these metrics are different? Now we're seeing how Agentforce is impacting our customer satisfaction, our case deflection, and the average cost of our case resolutions. And this is key because different types of agents have different criteria for success. And that success can only be understood in the context of your business goals. And this is all possible because Agentforce is part of the Salesforce platform. And our platform is the only platform that has the level of visibility and insight into your unique business. So that's how you enable AI to drive action anywhere across your business, all while maintaining human oversight. Carrie, back to you.
Love it. Thank you so much, Kat, Jeff, and David for all those demos. Josie, Des, Josie, you first. One last time. What do we see here?
Okay, so this is my favorite. We've been talking about Easy Button, but you've just seen how one platform can build a workforce of agents using natural language and low code. Talk about easy. And more importantly, with a few clicks, you're able to test and supervise those agents to ensure that they're working the way that we want them to as humans, you know?
Can you imagine just 5 years ago, we're talking about AI with a click of a button. That's what we're doing here. It's absolutely incredible. Des, you set up the playbook for us. I mean, anything else you want to add?
You know, I hope that makes it all real for you now. It's truly possible to transform your customer and employee experiences today. So again, follow these three success factors. Leverage the right unified data. Make the experience securely integrated into everyday flow of work, and enable AI to take autonomous action. That's the success factor right there.
I love that. Thank you all so much, Josie, Des, for everything, including making sure everyone knows. Swivel chairs, no good.
No more.
No good when it comes to your platform. I love it. All right, now it's time to hear from a Salesforce customer who's using this playbook to lead their industry with AI-transformed experiences. Indeed is the #1 job site in the world. We've all been there, with over 580 million job seekers using it. Let's learn how the Salesforce platform is helping Indeed speed up the hiring process. Take a look.
A lot of people live paycheck to paycheck, and we know that a job that takes 2 weeks to get versus 6 weeks to get can be the difference between solvency and really struggling.
Employers need talent and job seekers need jobs. One of the key frustrations is customer success professionals, they spend a lot of time dealing with the logistics of job posting.
A CS rep doesn't want to spend all day logging tasks.
And that takes them away from connecting with our customers.
How can we make getting a job easy and fast? Salesforce is a huge part of that. Indeed is data rich. We have a ton of information about our employers, what they need, what they want, what type of jobs they're trying to hire for. What used to be a series of kind of spaghettied integrations has transformed into a single source of truth for customers.
Using Salesforce Data Cloud, the data is available, the data is clean, the data can be trusted.
And it enables us to provide the right data and insights to our customers.
We are building data pipelines and data structures to power the next generation of AI and AI agents. Data Cloud is the core platform for Indeed's operational excellence.
When I first saw Agentforce, it was sort of a light bulb moment.
The excitement was real.
I had so many pings and slacks and side conversations.
This is really a digital workforce. The first agent that we built was a service agent.
An agent who can go out and do automated tasks, being able to pull data in via data cloud that can find insights, that can do a lot of things that humans aren't necessarily going to be the best at. We know it's going to very meaningfully transform the way that we operate. If I can be a part of making work better for more people, sign me up. I imagine a world where a digital workforce can go out and remove the monotony from people's jobs, and humans can do all of the things that they are best at and that bring them joy in their jobs.
We have an opportunity to change the world, and we think that our partnership with Salesforce is going to do just that.
You just saw her in the Indeed customer video. Now joining us in studio, in the house, Indeed's VP of Business Automation, Linda West. Linda, thank you, first of all, for joining us. Thank you for being a customer.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
We know you're passionate about AI. What excites you most?
So I am really excited about AI generally because I believe that AI has the potential to make work more human. And we've talked a lot about this today, and it sounds sort of counterintuitive. But when you think about it, modern work expects of us that we sit at a computer for 8 to 10 hours a day. We're logging, we're typing, we're clicking, we're like context switching continually. And are we really, as humans, meant to thrive in that environment? No. We're meant for creativity and complexity and problem solving and connection. And when you think about introducing a digital workforce that can remove so much monotony and rote tasks from our day, you think about the potential of what that means for the remaining work that we have to do. And that excites me. That lights a fire, and I am so excited for this next chapter because of that.
I love that outlook, right? AI actually making things more human for us because we can focus on those relationships. That's incredible. Indeed is already deploying AI for both customers and employees. Tell me about some of your favorite AI use cases.
Yeah, so the way that we think about AI is we look at the job of a CS rep, or we look at the job of a salesperson or a marketing person, and we break it down into two categories. What jobs that they do could an agent do faster? Could an agent do better? And then what jobs do we think humans should be at the front of? And then how do we, in that bucket, in that second bucket, speed up the ability for a human to be effective and productive in those tasks. So if you break it down in the CS role, there are a lot of things at the front end of the customer experience that we think agents can just do better or faster. So a couple of examples at Indeed are things like signing up for an account or helping with a first job post if an employer is coming to our site and trying to find talent. And we have agents that are deployed to help that process and to speed it up and to answer questions along the way and to interact so that our humans are freed up to do more proactive work, to connect with customers, to solve more complex problems. So that's how we think about it. And there's just such a rich universe of things that agents can do when you break it down in that way.
I love that. So many AI opportunities and efficiencies that you're talking about there. Earlier, we talked about the most effective AI starts with unified data. How did you approach that?
3 words: Salesforce Data Cloud. We have so much data across Indeed. We have employee data, employer data. We have information about, what type of hires companies are making, their interaction in our product. We have campaign data. We have so much data. And we leverage Data Cloud as really a cornerstone for connecting all of that customer data and providing the people who are interacting with it a single view of how all of that data connects so that they can make better decisions in their day. And so that agents that are looking at that data can make the right decisions, that have the right context, and can be even more powerful than they could be otherwise. So that's sort of how we think about it.
I love that. It kind of sounds like one of the themes of our show is like you're using the Salesforce platform almost as like an easy button when it comes to AI. You're a trailblazer when it comes to AI in this industry. I'd love to know, for Indeed, like what advice do you have for other companies looking to make this leap?
Oh, it's simple. Just do it. Just start. It's actually simpler than you would think. So when we first started with Agentforce, it's a little daunting at first because you're like, oh, this is completely new from a concept point of view. And even when you're thinking about product development, it's a completely different way of looking at how to develop product because it's more like building a workforce than it is building a product. And so, but it's simpler than you think, right? We built our first agent in a week. So when we did the first proof of tech, it was a couple of days and we have an agent and it's live and it was incredible. So it's easier than you think. And if you think about it from the context of, hey, what would I need if I was building a workforce? And apply those same principles to the technology and it becomes a lot easier to think about because those are things that a lot of us are already doing in our day.
I love that. Hey, good advice. Just do it. What's next for Indeed when it comes to the Salesforce platform?
Yeah, there's 4 key areas that we're really developing pretty heavily right now. The first is our external support agents. So our ability to actually free up more CS rep time by agentifying a lot of the customer support motions that we have at Indeed. So that's a really big area of focus. Another big one is AI SDR. So we are going full force on using AI to develop sales pipeline. And the other 2 parts of this are really internal. How do we speed up Indeedians and how do we speed up their ability to be successful? So we have a sales coach in play that we're developing, and we also have an internal assistant or a co-pilot that's already saving. This is an MVP version that we just launched, already saving 42 minutes per rep per week with just a few use cases. And we have a backlog of 60 plus use cases that we're looking to build. So we think there's just so much potential to pour into this as a platform and as a potential to speed us up.
That's incredible. You're going to come back for a sequel, and we'll talk about those new use cases and the new experiences. Linda West, thank you so much for joining us in outlining how Indeed is using the Salesforce platform to create better customer and employee experiences. To learn more about Indeed's story, scan the QR code on your screen. We'll also drop that into the chat for you, so be sure to check that out. Now, we've learned a lot today. If you're ready to build your own AI skills, head to Trailhead and become an agent blazer. We've got modules specifically designed to help you master AI on the Salesforce platform. Then mark your calendars for Dreamforce 25, the world's largest, most trusted technology event, coming to San Francisco, and Salesforce Plus, October 14th through 16th. Scan the QR code on your screen to register now and save $800. And before we go, we want to hear from you. What'd you think of this event? Take a short survey on your Salesforce Plus experience. It won't take long. It's an easy button too. Scan the QR code on your screen. Your feedback matters and helps make our events better. All right, thank you for watching. See you next time. I'm Carrie. Ciao.